And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back to something a little bit different here. Welcome back to the Cranky Ducklings review of Ahsoka Season 1, Episode 7. The Jedi, the Witch, and the Warlord. Oh boy, I'm of course your host VIP. With me, I'm joined once again by Kuro as we experience Ahsoka together.
Thank you for inviting me. I am very overjoyed to be here. Also, the title of this episode was Dreams and Madness. They're right.
Sorry, it's the other one. Yeah, my apologies. I got ahead of myself. I got
Yeah,
Dreams
it's the
and
next one.
Madness. My apologies. That's spoilers for episode 8.
Spoilers.
True. Oh boy. So yeah, Dreams and Madness. Aye. So we just
Mostly the madness.
Mostly the Madness. This is the penultimate episode, by the way. Second last episode of the season of the show. Again, quite an experience. Was around 40-ish minutes, 35 minutes long, quite short compared to some of the other episodes that we've experienced. And very quickly here, as a brief summary as to what occurred. Here, this episode again, of course, with in the previous episodes, we just dove straight into spoilers. Here, very briefly, what happened this episode? Well, the space whales, they arrived, they traveled across galaxies, they arrived where everything else, where the plot was happening, where everything else is going on. We had likewise Ezra and Sabine traveling across the plains. They got attacked by mercenaries. Ahsoka came down.
Hold on. You way too ahead. We started with a trial.
We're not going into it. Again, so Sabine and Ezra, they were traveling across the plains. They got attacked by mercenaries. Ahsoka came down, saved them, and that's the episode. That's plot-wise, very little actually happened. That was my first big takeaway when it comes to the episode itself. But yes, you're correct. So diving into the episode breakdown, the first scene was it was quite a way to begin the episode, which was the trial, Hera's trial, for going against orders and for tracking down the rest of the Empire. And
actually, it was not a trial because they wanted to put her to trial. So I guess this was not a trial.
It was like a hearing. It was like a hearing.
Yeah, it was like a hearing.
Yeah.
And apparently these people have authority to do that, but don't have the authority to do that. And actually they are... What? I do not understand the structure of this place.
Okay. So as you're saying, so Hera, she gets brought into a hearing here, and this just, at least to me, this goes back into what we were saying previously about how the New Republic is being portrayed, and how it's, and not just that, but also Hera and how she handles herself as well, and any kind of like big back and forth. Like I was hoping for some kind of discussion about what's going on or anything. Once again, for some reason, like Hera doesn't bring anything up. It's really weird. I think the biggest issue with that entire situation and scenario that made it so like unbelievable and very, it just takes you out of the whole episode, is that I feel like they needed to have set up why she wouldn't be taken seriously. It's weird, right?
Yeah.
Like we spoke about this last time. It's really weird that a person of Hera's standing would have so little like accreditation, like so little weight behind her words, and so little trust with the other higher ups, like in the New Republic, where she's supposed to be like a decorated like almost war hero, you know. She has a lot of experience behind her. She's supposed to have some semblance of what's the word I'm looking for, like not credit, but like there's meant to be weight behind what she says, and for them to try to discredit her, for them to dismiss her words, and for them to not take her seriously, it feels weird. It feels odd, especially because there were a couple of lines here where I think one of the senators was accusing her of trying to like have personal gain from doing stuff, and I was like, where's this coming from? Like, what?
I think they're suggesting that. That's what they're suggesting. Again, that was not shown, but that's what they're suggesting, is that she's obsessive about finding Ezra.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like, this would have been so much more interesting if previously in this show she was being a little bit maybe
Yeah,
manic or obsessive,
but
and
she wasn't.
she like led people to believe a certain thing, and then that wouldn't be true, and then then there would be a reason why there'd be like a history
Yeah,
of like false
like
allegations and
maybe.
false investigations and going
Mhm.
down like a rabbit hole that doesn't lead anywhere, and to show that like that there's actually a much lower chance that what she's saying actually has any truth behind it, right?
Yeah,
To
like
give
maybe
them a reason. Mhm.
like maybe an operation in the past that has failed, or
Yeah.
like, when she got like fake internet, they're like, you know what, this is like the 10th operation, like we cannot waste resources on this, you keep doing that. Like if you portrayed that, then sure,
Mhm.
but we didn't get that impression. Even more so, remember when Ahsoka first came up to her, like she's like, Hera is like, wait, do you think he's alive? Like she has given up at that point, it
Mhm.
sounds like.
Yeah, yeah. So there's like a weird disconnect with how they're treating Hera and how they've like portrayed Hera, and like it's just there's again it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit with the tale that they're trying to say. And obviously like it's not meant to, as the viewer, like you're meant to obviously be on Hera's side, and you're meant to believe that these people are being like, they're not being rational in how they're behaving, but like that makes it more boring. It's more interesting if these individuals are more rational and there's actually reason to distrust and reason to believe otherwise, and reason to think that maybe she is, obsessive, and she would have reason to twist the truth, or to lie about something like this. Whereas as things stand now, there's no reason for us to believe that she would do any of that. So then it's just a really weird position to be in, and it
Yeah,
just feels wrong. Like it feels.
it feels wrong that they are treating her like that, because we have nothing pointing us to the
Mm,
fact that she would be like that. Like nothing that we have seen
mm,
tells us that she is like that.
mm.
And on the other hand, what you said, like it also makes no sense that she's giving so little information about anything, where
Yeah.
it doesn't help her case. Like, oh, so what did you find? Trust me, bro. Trust me, bro. This is
Yeah, like
Empire, and we have to do like just tell them what you found.
yeah, we spoke about it in previous episodes, like talking about like the biggest thing, of course, is that they found out that they were making again all those massive hyperdrives for ships that weren't big enough in the New Republic. Like even that on its own, like that's huge, right? Like the fact that they were shipping a bunch of like equipment and a bunch of like engines and stuff somewhere, like that's and they're building something, and then they scanned it and they found what it is they're building, like all this stuff, like we mentioned it previously, but like if you really wanted to make it a little bit more conspiratorial, or make us believe that people wouldn't believe in Hera and what they're seeing, like you need to like in the story that you're telling, you need to have the Empire cover their tracks and actually disrupt some of their scanning, and not let that happen, or wipe some of their drives, or just or kill people that maybe saw things, have a plausible reason as to why there's no way to prove what's happening. Whereas right now it feels like there are a lot of things that lead into even the other
Like
alliance,
actual material
the other
things, not
alliance
not just the
the other
stories.
alliance trooper that was there, who was also with her, and there were a bunch of survivors as well that saw like the machine that jumped into hyperspace, that went past all of them. Like I think one of them died, but only one, right? Like there's like firsthand like accounting of that sort of stuff. Like there's all this evidence that can be brought up, and they don't have her say any of that, so it makes her seem silly or incompetent, or
Yeah,
like this.
and instead they're like, "Oh, we read your report. You wrote about whales." I'm like, "What? That's what she wrote about?"
Yeah, yeah, like it's weird. And even then, like even if she did say that, like we also know, and they should know as well, that Ezra and Thrawn were taken away by whales as well. So like there's a connection there. Like even if she said things in the most like fantastical way, like this is the world of Star Wars, where space wars exist. And it should be a part of the record that this is how Ezra and
Mm,
Thrawn were taken
I mean,
away from their
I can
battle. So like
see
there's things tying in there. Like it's just like, so it's not as silly as it would be like in our world if we say something
it's
like that.
not as silly, but I can see somebody not wanting to believe that, because we do not know how specific the reports of Lothal were, and maybe people just never believed that to be the case in the first place.
But everyone saw
Like
it.
I'm talking
Like
specifically these people.
No, but like when
Like
it
the
comes,
higher
no,
ups.
no, because everyone saw it. If it was something that happened, that was where there were less witnesses, and sure, but like everyone that was a part of that battle would look up and they'd see the space whales, like, like as in like it was a public, like it was a big visual spectacle, you know, like it wasn't like so no, I would push against the idea that like,
Mm.
oh, you know, like people wouldn't believe that. No, like that was seen by everyone, so like everyone knows what happened. Everyone should know what happened, I should say. There's no reason for them not to. Um, unless like you make a reason for it, right? Like make a reason for it. Maybe people will cover that up. Maybe people removed some of those records from their databases or something. Like I don't know. Like just do something. Do something to make this whole situation believable. But it doesn't. And then it just makes everything stand out. And to me at least it took me out of it. Just immediately just took me out of the episode. It's like, oh, okay, like this is just stupid. Like this is just, yeah, it just didn't make any sense.
No, yeah, I agree. It was a very weak point of this.
Mhm.
And
I think the biggest issue for me is that we spoke about this before. I don't want them to show the New Republic to be incompetent. Like that just bothers me.
yeah,
There are better ways
yeah,
to
that's something I
there
don't
are
think.
better ways to write like a failing government, you know?
Yeah, I don't know if you mentioned that on record, but like, yeah, we were talking about how they keep showing the like because we know that they have to reach the point of the first order, but it looks like the way they want to get here is just showing the Republic as constantly incompetent and just letting it happen instead
Mm.
of like writing a better story.
Yeah.
Like instead of like actually people infiltrating like and doing stuff like they just like, oh yeah, the Republic, they just kind of ignored everything.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. So it was a really, at least in my opinion, it was a very rough way to start the episode, to just remind you again, like, oh, you know, like the New Republic is run by people that, you know, that are distrustful for some reason, and they don't want to believe like testimony and evidence brought forward by like the main characters, and they don't want to believe that, you know, something is happening even though there's been a bunch of stuff that like pushes
Remember.
otherwise, and there's just no plausible reason for it. Like make us believe that they wouldn't trust these people, and all this, as you mentioned, right? Like make Hera more if you want to go down that route, you don't have to, but make her more obsessive, you know, make them give reason to just discredit her. Yeah.
But I will say, okay, because you bring it up, I will say that would be something that would make the events more logical, make more sense. It wouldn't make sense for Hera
Mm-hmm.
because
I agree.
specifically in Rebels, we had an episode or a few episodes where Kanan was taken and he was like taken hostage. He was a prisoner, and Hera would not go rescue him because that would go against the Republic. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, against the rebels back then. Like her mission, like she was suffering, but like her mission was so important that she was willing to sacrifice that.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't make sense for her to be obsessive about someone personally when to her like the mission is like something that's like above all.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be very difficult to like actually put the character into that place.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the thing. Like, I think in an ideal world, when it comes to constructing this show, you just never have this scene. Like, I don't think you would ever, you'd never have put her in this kind of situation. Um, you would have her go with Ahsoka. Like why did they not? What was the
I don't
rationale?
know why. I don't know why she's not like I thought when they both like went to the ways. I'm like, so
Hmm.
they're both going together, right?
Yeah.
And then Hera just leaves. I'm
Well,
like, what?
I would assume that not just her, but everyone, like as in all the other like
Yeah, yeah.
starfighters that are there as
Because
well, because that's why they're there, right? They're there because they believe in Hera. They're there because they want to save Ezra, and then they
yes,
don't go. It's like what?
yes, but also more than that, even more than that. Remember, they introduced it like, oh yeah, the fleet of the New Republic is here, and they're gonna escort you back to the capital. I'm like, I thought that's even if they weren't planning to go together, when they
Mhm.
hear this message where we can't really go to the Republic because don't have anything, so we just follow this mission, and
Yeah,
like they can't follow us there.
yeah.
I
So it
thought
was
that's what they're
just
going for.
yeah. I did as well, and that's why it's like it was the writer's decision. They could have if they wanted to, but they chose not to. They chose not to have Hera or the others be a part of this like finale, I guess, and they had them have to do this instead and have a weird like hearing where they can't explain themselves and they can't like push for they can't they can't advocate for themselves for some reason. Yeah, it was a weird decision, but obviously, as I mentioned, I think the decision is just that the writers of the show, they just didn't want Hera to be a part of the finale.
Yeah. Again, there's
Even though
so
it's meant
much
to be
in
like a
there.
Rebels reunion, by the way, like it's
Yeah, that's the thing. I just
Yeah.
want to point out, but that's the problem. This is an Ahsoka show about rebels.
Mhm.
Do you understand where the problem lies? Because Ahsoka was one of the, I don't want to say weakest, but one of the weaker points of
She
rebels
was,
because
yeah.
she felt inserted every time she appeared.
Yeah, because that wasn't her show, right? She's a Clone Wars character,
Yeah,
and then she
but so
cameoed
now,
in Rebels.
we're making a rebels show in Ahsoka.
Mhm.
So like it still feels weird, just the opposite way.
Yeah,
And they cannot really like connect the dots somehow. It just does not fit with each other.
yeah. It's
And again, why is Zeb not there? Why was not Zeb not in the squadron? What is Zeb doing?
yeah. It's a choice that was made. It's a choice that was made.
Yes, and
Obviously. Mhm.
also I want to, because I'm gonna keep complaining about this because I like Rebels too much. Another reason why it's important that Hera is part of all of these events is that despite what Lord Balin said in one of the episodes, by the way, Hera was basically acting as a parent to Sabine and Ezra.
Yeah, she was their mom.
Like
Yeah.
they were looking up to her almost like to like a replacement mother. Okay.
Yeah.
So their connection is a bit more than like, oh, they flew on a ship together, like they met it. No, they were actually genuinely like behaving like she was their parent.
Mhm.
So to not make it like, to like kind of just push her away as like not part of the events, and like and I'm not even talking, but like just in general, like they make it seem like, oh, like like, oh, Sabine doesn't have anyone, she's all alone, like Ezra is her only family. I'm like, that's not true.
Yeah.
She literally just called her on the phone.
Mhm.
Like
I mean,
Hera was literally like her mother.
we spoke about that last time. It might have been in one of the we might not have recorded it, but the idea of like, Hera's son calling Sabine auntie as well. Like we obviously they didn't go into like how close they are when it comes to relationship, but like you get the vibe that like they're a family, right? Like because they're supposed to be, right? Like all of them. Obviously 10 years have passed and they could have done anything with that time, I suppose, but like it's just weird that the characters ended up where they are now, and they did and we're almost done with the show, and they didn't allude to like Sabine having PTSD or being like hyper depressed or traumatized from what happened, or touching on the Mandalorian and her family and everything. Like they did nothing with it. They had no character moments for the character itself. Like we're almost done with the show, and I feel like I know nothing about Sabine. Like this, like
we didn't really learn anything.
We've learned nothing about her. Nothing about anything. It's crazy.
No, we learned that Ahsoka wanted to.
We learned that she's useless,
and then she didn't.
Yeah, we learned that she doesn't know how to use the Force or fight, but on top of that, she also doesn't know how to fight with her guns anymore either. Like it's just
she kind of forgot how to Mandalorian.
She forgot how to do everything. It's crazy. She's regressed as a character.
Yeah, but I was gonna say, like, that again, to prove that like whenever Sabine and Hera do talk, like whenever they do have a dialogue, it does not sound like someone who you haven't seen for years. Like clearly they are in contact.
Yeah.
Clearly they are speaking fairly regularly.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Anyway, what do you think about my favorite line of that scene?
What was your favorite line?
Where the chancellor, whatever her rank is, she asks, okay, so without your personal feelings, and I know you have personal feelings, how cooked are we? And she's like, prepare for the worst, like hope for the best. I'm like, what kind of answer is that? Like, you can answer that to anything.
That was all awful. Like her answer, but also the question as well. Also
The
felt like it
question itself,
undermined
yeah.
Hera, right? She's like, it's like, look, I know that you're
And the
you're like emotional and you're irrational, but could you tell me like how you feel about this? It's like what? It's like how? Like what a way to ask the question.
basically, that's
Like again, like
basically is-
the way that
yeah.
she says it sounds like she doesn't even believe like what Hera's saying either. Like what?
Yeah, but that's a thing. Like, firstly, we established that that's already, like, not a thing before, because of what we said beforehand. But the Chancellor was supposed to be actually, like, kind of on Hera's side, and
Mhm.
she also is undermining her.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, what?
Yeah, it was weird. It was weird. You kind of skipped over the other part where that is the big member berries cameo, which is suddenly you get
That's
the hopeful music, and then
I
suddenly
ignored that.
the C-3PO shows
I
up,
just ignored that. I'm like, yeah, whatever.
and
Yeah,
apparently
sure.
Leia like bails at Hera, I guess. Um, I understand like the temptation for references like this. I guess it's the only big one of the show is C-3PO and Leia. But like this also takes away from the character of Hera, right? Like there was no like big back and forth discussion as to what's going on. Like she didn't stand up for herself. She got bailed out by like a random Leia coming out of
Yeah, she got
nowhere.
bailed out because Yeah, and she got bailed out because she, like, asked, basically, from what we gather, she sent the guy from the X-wings to, like, call Leia. It's like, hey, can you call Leia so she can bail me, kind of thing. That's what
Yeah,
it felt like.
yeah, which makes Hera seem more incompetent, right? Like it makes like she should be able to hold her and she should be able to get out of this kind of situation. She should be able to convince them of what's happening more than anything, really. And for her to do none of that, and for randomly like C-3PO to cameo and then Leia say like, oh no, yeah, she's get out of jail free card sort of thing. Like it takes away from Hera's character as well. Like it makes her look worse having to rely on something like this to get out of this kind of situation. It's like, oh, okay. Like it's just,
Yeah.
I would say it was a very poor way to have a cameo like this because it's taking away from some of the established characters that are meant to be a part of this show.
Yeah, exactly. And again, I want to emphasize that, like, because they take the competence so much away from Hera, the reason why she's a general is not an accident. Like, this is not because she happened to be in the right place. This is not because she knew someone. She got nominated for the ranks that she did because of her actions.
Mhm.
Like, no, like nobody, like, just decided, oh yeah, she should be the general. No, she took part in multiple missions, she made certain decisions, and they recognized her skill as a leader of a squadron, and that's how she was rising in ranks because of her actions. So now, to take away that competence from her, it just feels bad to what the original character was.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, especially because we touched on this before, but again, it's been 10 years, so you'd expect, there's 10 years of growth, 10 years of wisdom, 10 years of experience, like 10 years where this character should be even more elevated than what they were in the previous show, and that just isn't the case for any of these characters. But yeah, just reminded once again for Hera for the opening scene, which was, I would say, a really rough way to start the episode. And it leads into everything else. From there, it leads into Ahsoka. Ahsoka, she's training. She's listening to some Anakin
Oh yeah, hold
hologram
on.
recordings.
I remember you kept mentioning that, like, oh, you would like if Ahsoka show, at least at the beginning, was like her talking to Anakin's ghost. How about Anakin's recording?
Well, this is a reference to Clone Wars because if you remember, she was listening
Yeah.
to his recordings in the Clone Wars as well. This is just a way to use the actor more here because I'm pretty sure this is Hayden Christensen as the actor. I think because he doesn't look as bad
I
as
mean,
he
he is
did in
credited.
space.
He is
Like,
credited.
well, he doesn't look as bad as he did in space. Like in space, like he had like a CGI face that made him look younger. Here, I guess maybe because of the hologram effect, they didn't feel the need to use the CGI face as much to like clean him up. Here he looked older, even though he wasn't meant to. But here he looked more like
Yeah.
himself, more so than the in the space episode or in the interdimensional interstellar episode. But yeah, like again, for me, this is kind of what I wanted at the like. This is like episode 1 stuff. Like this is what you do in episode 1. It's like you have her, training, talking to Anakin, and this is where you would have a discussion about Anakin, which would eventually lead into episodes later, her encountering his Force Ghost. But they did it in the reverse, which is really weird. But like here, like they once again they touched on Anakin a little bit, and they grazed like a topic that could have been interesting, which is the robot starts asking her about her master, and she starts praising him, right? She's like, oh no, yeah, he was like the best master and stuff, and like she was
See,
looking up to him in some way. And I feel like this
uh,
is the kind of stuff that you would begin the season with. This is the kind of stuff that you'd have in the beginning, because it's really weird that like they didn't do anything else with this scene either, because previously you had her doubting, or you had her like seeing visions of like Vader and stuff instead. So like it's kind of weird that they have like something that's meant to be a little bit more emotional and maybe even traumatic in the previous episode, and then here we're just done with that, and she's just training with Anakin again, like nothing
yeah, I
happened.
was gonna
It's like
say the last encounter between her and Anakin that did not strike me as, oh, this is my man. He's such a good person. He's
mm,
so nice. I'm like, no, he literally tried to kill you to teach you something. Like,
mm.
what?
That's why I
Like
said
that,
that this feels out of order, right? Like it feels like this
yeah,
should have
it feels
happened
out of
first.
order. It feels out of order. I wouldn't even say out of order. Like, I feel like this is something that happens after she has like an actual retrospection about things, and like she
Yeah.
kind of like comes to terms with
Mm.
what has happened, which we still didn't have. Like, she had this whole like, meeting the I don't even know if it was a ghost. I don't even think it was Anakin's ghost, but like we had like the trip down her memory lane with like how he was training her and how he became Vader and so on and so forth. But we didn't really get any resolution from her side about like how she feels about that.
I think that's the issue with the entire show, and I kind of alluded to it when I said in the very beginning of this how I went over what happened in this episode, and there is no resolution. There's no introspection from anyone. The last episode ended with Ezra and Sabine meeting, and we're jumping forward, but it's connected to what you're saying here, where Ahsoka, she didn't have anything to say or any kind of reflection moment post her experience. Here, Sabine and Ezra, they meet for the first time in 10 years, and they there's nothing, they don't, there's no moment between them here. Like every time like Ezra tries to ask her about something, she's like, it's complicated. So is that okay? And then I guess when he's like telling her about his time there, like she zones out because Ahsoka's connecting to her. Like there's no character moment between them at all. This entire episode, like there's no talk, there's no discussion. You would think I was waiting for her to start opening up and be like I don't know what I'm doing. Like Ahsoka's training me to be a Jedi. I'm not a Jedi. Like I can barely use the Force or something. Have her confide in him, because apparently, if you remember, like he in this show he's portrayed as her only family. So have her finally start to open up to someone, and then have him, be like the wise hermit and guide her and give her some kind of motivation or some inspiration when it comes to progressing in what she's doing and becoming like a Jedi, whatever they want to do with her character here. But like I was
No,
you'd expect that kind of moment between the two of them, right? It's like you finally have a moment when they're traveling across the plains where they can talk, when they can have that moment together as characters, and they don't. They do nothing with the characters at all. This entire episode, it's crazy.
yeah, I was gonna say, out of all the people, like, I think the two people that Sabine would actually talk to about personal things would be either her or Ezra. Like, they're
Hmm.
the closest people to her.
Yeah.
Like, in general, I not even her Mandalorian family can know the stuff that like she would talk about. Like, I feel like these are the closest people to her. And again, like, you would think she would mention like the whole Ahsoka thing. She would mention Mandalore. She would be like, yeah, like Mandalore, like that's gone and stuff. And you could tie it together where, as you said, where he kind of gets where she's like, yeah, like after Mandalore, like Ahsoka left me, and like I kind of don't know what I'm doing, but like I knew that I had to find you, so I did, and like but I don't know where we're going from here and stuff. Like you
Yeah.
can have her like question those things because a lot has happened in her life since then.
Hmm.
And then like, because like as you said, you have that moment where like he kind of like tries to take it in, like tries to talk her through it,
Mhm.
even though he probably himself doesn't have any good advice, but he tries to support her in that.
Yeah. And
But okay, but you know what my favorite part was of that conversation between Ezra and Sabine?
Mhm.
Where Sabine is like, so Ahsoka took me as her student, and Ezra is like, why?
yeah, I mean, like touching on what you said, like it's even worse because that's how the character was set up in this whole show. As in, you from the very beginning, like Sabine is, as I said, like she's like a blank piece of paper. They've done nothing with the character, and this would have been the opportunity to have her open up a little bit more, because the show has set up the idea that she's meant to be a little bit more like obsessed with fighting Ezra, to the point where she decided to help their adversaries, right? She decided to help Lord Balin and help the Empire get what they wanted and find Thrawn, just so she can find Ezra, which is pretty extreme, right? Like that's a more extreme thing to do. So for her to do these things, and for her to want to find Ezra and do almost anything to find him again, and to even cross some lines to do that, and then for there to be no payoff, it's like what? It's like what? It's like what happened here? Why were you so obsessed? Or why did you do so much to find him if there's not going to be any kind of emotional payoff here, right? Like there was nothing. Like what was the whole point of the lead up here in the entire show? Like that's what's been driving the show so far so much. This entire season is finding Ezra, and then she finds him, and nothing happens. There is no opening up moment. There is no breakdown. There is no her catching him up with what's been happening these past 10 years. We've been critical about the fact that we don't know anything. Like a lot of critical events have happened. None of it has been addressed. This would have been the moment to address it, right? This would have been the moment where she catches up Ezra and the audience as to not just what's been happening, but how she's been feeling about what's been happening as well, and how that's affected her. This would have been prime material for that. Cut out all the trial stuff at the beginning, cut all that out. Now you have like, all this extra time, spend time with them, and then have them be interrupted by like the bandits and all that attacking them, as things are getting emotional between them, and as we reach like a climax.
You know
there.
what?
And they did nothing with it.
The bandits disturb them when Ezra starts asking about Ahsoka, and she just never finishes.
Yeah, or when he starts prodding her more about how she got there, right? And things of that nature. But before that, you'd have the lead up to it, and you'd have them talking about everything else. But they didn't have anything. They even had her zone out of their conversation. I was like, what? I was like, it felt weird that he was like talking to her about how they live their lives, and she suddenly gets interrupted by Ahsoka. It's like, I guess she just doesn't care about what he's saying anymore. I guess it just doesn't matter. It's a weird decision. It's weird, right? Like as a writer for this show,
yeah.
Like, what's the point of the show? If like I thought finding Ezra was the point.
This is supposed to be a big thing, like. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah. So we had our Ahsoka training scene that leads us into Ahsoka coming out of hyperspace with the whales. I'll be honest, I found it was, I don't know how you felt about the whole whale scene, the minefield scene, or the minefield setup, the story that's being told.
Depends. What do you mean?
So
I felt a slight disconnect because the whales were supposed to be attacked, but instead there's just a minefield.
Yeah, it was. Okay. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like it was really weird because they even had the recap at the beginning of the episode where Thrawn is specifically telling Morgan, like, hey, if any whales come out, shoot them down, right? And they even set up
No. He said attack with prejudice.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
And they even set up ahead of time that this place that they're going to is specifically a space whale graveyard. They go there to die. So yeah. I was expecting them to die. Like,
Yeah,
I was like,
I
okay.
thought legit this is gonna be like a dramatic thing where like the
Yeah,
whales
I
just
thought it was going to be
die
a
in the
dramatic thing
beach.
with whales, being killed, but and then like pushing through just so that Ahsoka can get to the planet, right? Like I thought it was going to be like a big emotional thing, but instead there's like a minefield, which is very disconnected. It's not very personal when it comes like it's a little more tame, I should say, because the mines were doing nothing. They were just tanking them. They were just flying through them. I was like, okay, I
Yeah,
guess
but
this is doing
again, he
nothing.
said attack with prejudice. Set up a minefield. It's not attack with prejudice.
Yeah. So that was just weird to begin with, but then they just start leaving, so, and no whale dies, and it's like when like watching that, I'm like, oh, do they just not want to kill any whales for like the kids? Like, is that what's happening right now? I guess maybe, even though they already showed like dead whales because there's like a debris like graveyard fields like around the planet. I guess so the whales they just leave. Ahsoka and Co they make their way through, and I guess because of how that situation was handled and everything else as well, they're doing something really weird with Thrawn, where they keep wanting to make him a little bit more calculated and like tactical, but I don't believe any of that here. Like, I don't know. Their handling of like the whale situation, or even his plan about the Jedi as well. It comes down to, I'm jumping ahead a little bit here, but the plan was to distract the Jedi, so then they can do what? They can load up cargo. Sure. What's the cargo?
Yeah, because
No,
basically
no. What are they loading up? What are they loading up?
They didn't say. They didn't say.
What are they loading up?
They didn't say.
What are they loading up, Curie? They just keep saying generically
classified.
cargo. Why was that not already on the ship to begin with? They had 10 years.
That is Thrawn's favorite snacks, and they have to be served fresh. Okay.
Ah, I see. Like what? Like I'm confused as to what they're doing. Like what are they doing?
They are very heavy.
Mhm.
And putting them all on the ship would use too much fuel. So instead, they keep it in the tower.
Ah, I see. What? Weight doesn't matter in space. What are you talking about?
But the ship is not in space. The ship is in the atmosphere for some reason.
Right now, it's in the atmosphere, but it can just be chilling in space.
But it's not.
Or on the ground.
Fuel.
It could just be on the ground then.
Yeah, we learned that they can land, apparently. So
yeah, they can just be on the ground. You know, tell me they've been floating for 10 years in the atmosphere.
Yeah. Yes. That's big. As you see, it's like all damaged because they cannot go to space. They're just in the atmosphere this whole time.
For 10 years.
For 10 years, yes.
Yeah, so it's a good thing that Morgan arrived, because they only had like another like 30 years worth of fuel left.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I like that's it's a bigger issue. Like what are they doing? They're loading up cargo. Why was the cargo on the planet to begin with? Why wasn't it originally on the ship? Like, what are they? What's so important about this that they need this to leave? What is it? Whose is it? Are they gonna explain it? No. If they were, they would have already done it. Like, the thing is that if it was important, they would have specified. They would have been like, I don't even know what it could be. What could it be? What is it? Food?
It's magic.
Is it just
magic
food?
crystals?
They just need food?
magic crystals. From
they can teleport to like a Walmart. Like they, like what are you talking about? They can just hyperspace away to just a place full of food. Like what are you talking about right now?
They can teleport to a Walmart.
They can. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean they need to load up a bunch of like apples or like?
This is like special crystals from the witches, which will give the ship protection.
If it's some
and
special,
it will give powers to Thrawn.
If it's something special related to the Witches of Dathomir, I feel like narratively it's important to set that up. So then you understand the urgency of what's happening and the threat of what's going on, and then it adds a little bit more tension to the scene. If it's important, but they didn't. It was just something. It was just a line that was thrown out, and they just
all they said was catacombs, if you remember.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the way that it looks like, are they dead bodies? Is that what that is? Is that like, because they look like coffin size? Like,
do you think Do you think those are dead witches that will be revived once they go back to the galaxy?
Maybe, I don't know. I don't know. Could be
Actually,
anything.
no, I'm not gonna. I don't want to
I
say
feel
it,
like
but
you
I
could
keep.
cram in a couple of like more dead bodies. Like, would you? Do they need to keep? Do they need to take up the entire coffin space? Like, how
Yes,
old are these bodies? Do they not get
I mean
cremated?
they can crumble very easily. You
Uh
don't
huh.
wanna. But you know what I was thinking about? Because again, they have to somehow connect it to the First Order and stuff. I'm
Hmm.
like, actually, they are bringing all the Palpatine clones.
True. That's all the clones. That's all the clones. Ah. But yeah, I don't know. Like, it's just it was weird. Like, even if
Yeah.
no, even if that wasn't, even if that was their goal, like, I don't know, like, what's like what he's trying to kill 3 Jedi. He thinks that he can send like stormtroopers to do it. Like, what?
No,
Like,
no, no. I think the idea is that he just wants to leave them on the planet.
no, yeah, but there are better ways to do that. If he wants to just buy time, like, what are you talking about? Like, how do you buy time? Just disable their ships. Like, they got one like Jedi ship. Like, invest resources into disabling that, which I mean, they can just do. I don't know why, but like, there were what, like, there were like 3 ships chasing them for like the entire episode, and nothing happened. Like, like they just can't hit the target for some reason. I don't know. Like, yeah, I don't know. It was just I'm not like what was revealed here in the episode doesn't it doesn't make Thrawn feel like look smart. Like, I'm not like it wasn't, nothing here was impressive. Nothing here was impressive for his
Mm.
stature or what he's capable of doing. That's the issue here. Like, there's nothing here that felt impressive for non-force users to overwhelm and to defeat like Jedi. Like, there are ways to do that, and there are impressive ways to do that, and you want to do that, especially early on, to set up the character, to make him look more threatening. There's a bunch of people that are watching the show that didn't see Rebels. They didn't watch Rebels. This is their first introduction to Thrawn. They know nothing about him, and the end of this episode makes it sound like he's coping, right? Where Morgan's telling him like, oh, like, we failed, like you're losing these people. He's like, it's okay. Like, we lost all these
Yeah,
resources,
as long as we have
but
the cargo, it's
we're
fine.
loading up all the apples and then the oranges and stuff, so it's worth it. It's like, what? It's like, what are you doing right now? Uh, Obviously, they might reveal, as you said, like, next episode, that there are a bunch of dead bodies that they plan on reviving? Question mark. And that's why the Witches of Dathomir are helping him, because he has the ability to revive people for some reason. How? I don't know.
Please don't. Please don't do that. Please don't give him that. I was joking. It's probably true, but I was
I
joking.
mean, what else could it be? What else is it? I don't know.
Some kind of artifacts? I don't know.
Yeah.
Also, speaking of Ron, because you did point it out in the previous episode, but it didn't bother me as much previous episode. But this episode, it really did bother me. Was how the mothers were addressing Ron.
Yeah, I actually wrote that down in notes. Like, they called him Lord. Like, as you wish, my lord. We're at your service, like Grand
Yeah,
Admiral. Like,
yeah, at your
they,
like
yeah,
servants.
yeah. Right. That just, it feels misplaced. Like, it doesn't. It also, I think it also, like, I was thinking of, like, the whole tactical thing. Like, it also, I would love the idea of him being able to like, trap Ahsoka or lure them in, or kind of lead her down a certain path to like trap her, or kind of make her do what he wants, like, without her knowing, like, without the use of the witches, because the witches were just telling him where she was and stuff like that. That, I feel like that takes away. I think any reliance on the Dathomir witches takes away from the character and what he should be capable of. Anything that they provide him, any information they provide him, he should be able to do himself. He should be able to achieve it himself. He should be able to do it himself. And like, the fact that they're using the witches in this way, I would say, takes away from the Thrawn character. On top of that, as you mentioned, like their the demeanor and how they speak to him, like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, it is bothering. Like,
Yeah,
it's just,
like I said it before, that like it makes sense that they would work with him, like because like their goals align for whatever reason, and him being generally a respectful person towards like other cultures, like yes, he's at war with people, but like he like likes to know about the culture, so it makes sense that he would be willing to work with them. But it doesn't make sense that they would like worship him that much, because they almost worship him. Like it's like almost like worshipy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. Do you have anything else to get into? I mean, there's one thing that I liked, but I wanted more of.
Uh-huh.
No, hold on, we're getting ahead of ourselves here. They've ruined it. Do you remember what Lord Balin tells his granddaughter before they leave?
That's her ambition, like desires more, whatever. I don't remember.
He tells her, "Go kill Ezra and Sabine, and then you can take your place in the Empire." That's what he said.
Yes,
Yeah.
you can take your place in the Empire.
Yeah, that's what he said. And I'm like we were talking about how they still have left it ambiguous as to what their goals are and where they're gonna stand and what they're gonna do. The moment he said that, it's like that's
Yeah, that was.
that's
I mean,
unfortunate.
I don't know. Like the problem is he has to mean it, right? Because they pointed it out several times in this episode, which was bothering. But they're like, oh, where is Lord Bailey? Oh, where did he go? Where did he go? He didn't get killed. Where did he go? Like, yeah, we got it the first time. But like, they still leave it ambiguous, like what his goals are exactly. So I could, on one hand, I could see him like kind of like sending Shin or whatever her name is to do it kind of in a way to get rid of her. So like he can do whatever his goal is without her because she's not in on that.
But why wouldn't she
But
be?
again, as I said, he has to believe what he's saying.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like, because I understand what you're saying, the idea that like because they're leaving it, that they're doing the best they can, and it's very on the nose. The idea that he has his own thing that he's trying to achieve, he has his own goals, but it doesn't make any sense to me that he would use his granddaughter in that way, right? Obviously not granddaughter, but like his apprentice, right? Like the way that he's been speaking to her, it makes it feel like he genuinely has been trying to like teach her how to do things, obviously
Yeah, like
poorly,
he genuinely cares about
they've put yeah, like narratively they've portrayed it in a very bad way, I would say, but like trying to get at to the root of these characters, it feels like he genuinely cares about her, or at least or where she ends up, or
about her
what
future.
yeah, about her future. That's a better way of putting it. He cares about her future, and he wants her to be more successful, and he wants her to be something greater, right? So the idea of him telling her that, and the idea of that being a lie just so she gets beaten, and then maybe she gets humbled, and then maybe she joins them or something, or I don't know, like what, like it feels weird if that's the case. Like, why lie? Like, why not be honest about what's happening? Like, it feels weird if that's what's happening, if he's lying to her, and if he's trying to deceive her just so that she can end up in a certain position and have certain
especially since she repeatedly has asked him questions, and it seemed like she genuinely wanted to know, and she would listen to the answers.
Yeah.
It didn't seem like, oh, she's like this rebellious teenager, and if you don't teach her how to be the Dark Jedi, then she's gonna like run away. No, like she genuinely was looking up to him for answers, and she didn't get any.
Yeah. So it's weird, and I say weird. I'll say a negative thing if that's what the character is doing. If they're actively lying to this person, to their apprentice, just so they can have certain experiences and end up in a certain way, and become who they'll eventually become. Because there's other ways of doing it. Like, there's more honest and more upfront ways of doing something like that, which would be better, which would be more interesting. I think that's the biggest thing. It'd be more interesting, and that it ideally leave less room for error as well. Like, it just, yeah. So it was weird. It was a really weird decision that they made with that. And there's one episode left, so we're soon gonna find out what he wants, and hopefully
Yeah,
they don't.
speaking of hers, this is jumping to the ending, but still, like, I like how Ahsoka like approaches her. It's like, I can help you. I'm like, you don't know her. You don't know
Mhm,
anything about her. How can you help her?
mhm.
Like there was so like just out of nowhere. It's like you know nothing. Why do you claim that you can help her in any way?
You know what? I'd believe Ahsoka more if like this whole episode they didn't keep hammering down the fact that she failed to train Sabine, and their relationship is strained because of that, and there's conflict there. So the idea of her reaching out to another person to potentially like take them under her wing, like it's
And
just
then leave them
I just I
and then
just I
fail
just
at
don't
her
buy it.
training.
I just don't buy it. Like I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced that
Yeah.
she can do anything there. It's weird.
But it's that, but also like I am not exactly sure why she would want her help in the first place.
Mhm.
Like they barely even interacted at all.
Yeah.
We didn't get any resolution between her and Balin. Like neither Ahsoka nor she knows what's going on. Like they're both kind of like
Yeah.
just confused by what is happening.
There's
So
just
why would she offer help if neither of them knows what the situation
we
is?
didn't get to talk about it. There's just so much missing in this show. Like it's awful. Like as in we spoke about we've spoken previously about the issues with Rebels. Was it season 3 or season 2? But the idea of the
Three.
show missing, and even Mandalorian season 2 is another good example of that, of the show missing all these character moments and character interactions and character growth, right? Like between all these characters, and how that was lacking in Mandalorian season 2, it was lacking in certain season 3 of Rebels. Here it's similar, where in a show where if you care about these characters and if you want to flesh them out and if you want to have some interesting dynamics, what do you do in a regular movie? When Sabine gets captured and when she gets thrown in prison, in the jail cell, you have a moment between the two quote unquote like apprentice characters, right?
Yeah, you have them
Like
interact in some way.
that's just what you do when you're telling a story. You
Mhm.
have them interact and talk to each other and connect in some way, right? You have them connect in some, because
Well,
they're both like they're both portrayed here as two sides of the same coin, where like you've got Ahsoka and Balin
sure.
as like the master characters, and then you've got Sabine and this character as like the apprentice characters, and they keep having them fight. Like they fought like 3
Yeah.
times now. Like
But
they keep
just to
having them
be
like have that conflict. And you have them now. They're in a situation where they can't fight each other because Lord Balin scolded the girl, his granddaughter, for trying to force choke Sabine, so she can't kill her, and Sabine is like restrained as well. So they're like forced to like interact and speak to each other, and then you have them again, as I mentioned, like connect in some way, or have
yeah,
some
but
kind of understanding between the two characters, and have a bond be there in some way. Not saying that they have to be friends or anything like that, but just have them understand each other on some level, and more importantly, have them open up to each other. So as a viewer, you can start to understand these characters. Because we spoke about us not knowing anything about Sabine. We don't know anything about this. I didn't even know her name. What's her name?
yeah, I barely remember her name
I,
because
did,
they mentioned it like
I
twice.
don't know her name. I don't know anything about her. So like, I can't care about this character. I don't.
Yeah, but I just want to point out that like importantly, they do not have to be friends. They
Yeah.
don't actually have to acknowledge each other as somebody you can talk to. Like they don't even have to open up to each other. They can be hostile,
Mhm.
but because they are forced to interact. For example, when they were in hyperspace, like it took a while.
Mhm.
So like just because they are forced to interact for one reason or another, like have one of them or the other say something that like stays in the back of their mind. They like maybe question some things about
Mhm.
like their teachings, or maybe they're like, oh, this other side, they're not so different from me, like they just end up in different situations, like have something that
Mhm.
just kind of stays with them, and like have the like kind of doubt or some kind of connection, as you said.
Yeah.
But like you need them to interact for that to happen.
Yeah. But that's like, again, that's like writing 101. That's like basic level like character writing and storytelling, right? And it just isn't there. Like, it isn't there between them. It isn't there between Sabine and Ezra. It isn't there between Ahsoka and Sabine. It isn't there with Hera and Sabine. Like, there's just nothing. Like, these characters are like independent from each other, and there's just nothing connecting them in this show. Like, and we're almost done. Like, that's why I'm bringing it up now. Like, we're almost done with the show. There's one episode left, and like, there's nothing to latch onto here. Like, yeah, it's just weird. It's weird because there's like a lot of money behind the show. Like, the production value is there in its own way. Like, it's just like, money's being thrown at this, and like, I just don't understand who's writing this. Like, what's like this? It's like empty. It's like soulless. It's like Rebels, but like, it's like the heart of the show is just gone from this. It's not there.
Yeah, and like I don't even want to say that, because then you would at least the visuals would look good. But like, a lot of the characters don't look them like themselves either, so you can't even argue with that. But again, it does feel like someone got the concept of like characters, the concept of like the story, but like, there's no actual story. There's no progression in the story. There's no progression of the characters. Like, the events are happening, but you don't feel like you're progressing in any direction. Those
Yeah.
are just events.
Yeah. I think I would say this show is just it's very shallow. It's a very shallow show. Like, there's nothing. Like, you put your foot in, and there's nothing there. It's just nothing there. Like, it's just, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird because from my understanding, like, what, like, Dave Filoni's producing the show. I don't think he's directing it or writing it. But like this supposed to, I don't know. It's like, it feels like a waste. It feels like a waste of these characters to use them in this way. It feels like we're wasting them because now this is like canon. Now this is happening. Now we're in. Now they're locked in, and there's gonna be a season 2 like next year or this year. And yeah, it just feels like a waste so far.
Yeah, and again, there are some ideas there, but they just never actually explored.
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay, we have to talk about 2 more things. I guess first things first.
Okay.
What do you think the agenda of Baylan is? What do you think his whole point, his whole goal is in all of this? Because he fought Ahsoka again, so he was ready to fight her.
Yeah.
Even though the apprentice wasn't with him, so you cannot like be like, oh, he didn't want to show something like in front of the apprentice. Like, he was just there, so he was willing to fight Ahsoka still, but he doesn't kill her, and he just gets like shot at, and there's some smoke, and he just gives up, and then he's gone.
I think the issue is that they've left everything open enough that they can do anything with it, right? Like, with what's in the coffins, what cargo are they collecting? What is the connection between Thrawn and the Witches of Dathomir? Where are they going to go from here? Like, where are they traveling to? What final cameo do we get, if any at all? If you remember, Baylan, he said something along the lines of like, he wants to break the cycle of like Empire, Republic, Empire, Republic, Empire, Republic. Like, he specifically said that, which is also why it's really weird that he told her to join the Empire. Like,
exactly.
like,
I was gonna point it out.
Like last episode, he literally said the speech about how he wants to break the cycle of these two factions, how they mean nothing because they just keep going back and forth, and he's tired of it. Then he tells her to join one of them. Like, it's like, what are you saying? Like, what are you talking about right now?
Like, we break the cycle by making Empire all powerful.
Yeah. Like, it's so they can do whatever they want with him. I don't know. I think I'm losing interest. Like, like he's maybe the
now
maybe
you're losing interest.
No, him. Like, he's like the most interesting. He's the most interesting thing about the show. But I think they've just done a really poor job at getting you excited about what that could be. Like, I don't know. Like, it's just, yeah.
No, I agree. Like, that's why I'm confused about what is happening. Like, why would he send her off, but then like still fight us? Because I would be more willing to accept that like he would not fight Ahsoka, and then they would have some kind of conversation where maybe they have opposing ideas, but like he doesn't actually care about fighting her. Like he literally didn't want to kill her originally. If you
Yeah.
remember, he was originally ordered to kill her, and he was like, "Well, that would be a shame. Like I don't
Yeah.
really want to do it." And like here, he just straight up like she didn't initiate anything, and he just like draws his sword.
Mhm.
But like he still is not really like they're like, "Oh, you cannot defeat me," but I don't feel like he wants to defeat her either. So like I don't understand what the goal of the character is.
Yeah, like with many things in this show, if he and Ahsoka just had a conversation that would have just benefited everything and everyone, like it would have been so much more interesting to hear them have some kind of conversation where they don't have this kind of like looming Morgan behind them, like ordering him to like, you know, protect the star chart and get the star chart to go somewhere like here. Like there is nothing like what like I don't understand what his motivation is, what Balin's motivation is to order his apprentice to kill Ezra and Sabine, and for he himself to want to kill Ahsoka. Like I don't understand what that motivation is and what's driving them when
But
they're
that's the
supposed
thing,
to be
I
like
don't think he even
independent.
wants that.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
he don't even wants to kill. Like he yeah, like I was just confused because he doesn't seem motivated one way or another.
yeah. What do I want? I don't know what the character is going to do. I think the boring thing would be because I think it'd be a waste. But I understand the actor isn't around anymore. But I think what's probably going to happen is that maybe he no, they wouldn't kill Thrawn. Like they only just now got him back. They're not going to waste the character. I think he's probably going to turn on the remnants of the Empire. Um, I think he's probably going to turn on them, and then
And he's gonna get killed immediately.
he's probably going to die. And the girl apprentice character is not going to die because she's young. It's important that she's young. That means that she can act for a couple of years, right? They can use this actress for future projects. So I think she lives, and she.
No, listen.
Mhm.
Listen. He turns on the Empire. The Thrawn or whoever else kills him, and then she decides she no longer wants to be part of the Empire, and she goes with Ahsoka.
Maybe.
Maybe without the last part, she may just become another party. But apparently, third parties cannot be a thing because witches are now empires. So
No, I'm thinking about what would be the worst thing possible, like writing wise, and I think you're correct. I think she leaves with Ahsoka. I think that's, I think that'd be the dumbest way to end it. But I think that's what's gonna happen. She leaves with Ahsoka. Um, yeah, I guess. So it'd be like Sabine, Ahsoka, this lady, and
Ezra.
Ezra together traveling for the next season. Um, Yeah, either that or she goes off on her own. But I think Lord Balin, he probably dies. Thrawn survives. I think it'd be a waste to kill him right now. I think it'd be a waste to kill Balin, but I think they will. Maybe he kills Morgan. I don't think Morgan. I think Morgan's done. I think I don't think I don't.
Yeah, Morgan doesn't seem to have more role in
I think she
this.
served her purpose, right? I think she served her purpose like functionally in this show, which was just find Thrawn and get
Yeah,
him
because she
to the main
doesn't seem
timeline.
to have any other motivation, and she kind of just there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I think she's probably going to be done. Hmm. Do you think what would be cool?
Mm.
Pure fan service. Balin
Mhm.
kills the witches of Dathomir. Have him do that.
All of them
Have them fight. Yeah, yeah,
fight the mothers,
yeah, yeah. Have the
and that
mothers.
would be a cool fight.
It would be. It would. But have the mothers do some cool stuff. Have them like not even just force lining. Be creative with it. Have them spell weave and do their stuff.
No, listen. He will fight the
and it's like
witches.
Balin. Then they'll do it where it's Balin and Ahsoka versus the mothers. That's what they'll do. Like they'll.
Yeah, that would be the cool thing. But I'm telling you that like it's Balin versus the mothers, and they each just like fire a laser beam, and it's just gonna like go back and forth for 10 minutes,
No.
and Ahsoka is gonna be like running around and trying to like help somebody
Uh huh. Uh huh.
because that's the way to do it in media.
Hmm.
But no, it would be cool if they actually had a fight. I think that would be cool.
Yeah,
I
yeah. I
agree.
think there's potential for really nice visuals if they do something like that. There's one thing that I actually liked about the show this episode, but I wish they did more with it. The idea of, instead of becoming like a proper hermit, the idea of like Ezra doing like force kung fu, like I like that idea. Like that's like
Okay.
they
Okay, I will
tease
get
it a little
into
bit
that.
here. They tease it a little bit here, but like obviously the extreme version of that is like the original Clone Wars animation with like Mace Windu, who's like you know, force like punching like droids and like
Mhm.
destroying them and stuff. That's the
Mm.
extreme version, and obviously they're not going to go that far. But the idea of Ezra like
Oh
going
boy.
full like Jackie Chan and incorporating the force in some way, like that's a fun idea. They could have done more with it, is what I wanted out of
Oh
what they did
boy,
with
do you
Ezra.
really want my opinion on that?
Okay, go for it.
So,
uh-huh.
you are telling me
Mhm.
that Ezra has been stranded here for 10 years
Mhm.
and he looks fine physically. So it's not
Yeah,
like he
yeah.
was just sitting on his butt.
Mhm.
Like he was clearly doing something.
Mhm.
Or maybe, I don't know. He's been for 10 years on this planet.
It's a long
He
time.
doesn't want the lightsaber because, you
Yeah.
know, he hasn't used the lightsaber for 10 years. I'm like, fair, he hasn't used it for 10 years. He should have said it, that like, oh no, yeah, you know, I'm out of practice. You probably do better than me.
Uh,
That would be fine line. They didn't use it, whatever. Ezra is like, it's just the force. I just need the force.
mhm.
I can do this. And then he does the most basic
Mhm.
shit that has ever been, that he has done in like the first days of his training.
Yeah, I mean that's why I
It's
said
the
that
10 years.
I
The
wanted them.
10 years of experience.
That's why I said I wanted
10
them.
years of practicing just force because he has nothing else to do clearly.
Look, it's
And what you
hard.
say,
It,
you're
uh,
telling me that he is able to push a stormtrooper on a wall, which he could exactly the same way he could do with his hands. And
it's hard to do that. Okay, it's a heavy
do you,
stormtrooper. Okay, you know the
do you
armor,
understand?
the
Do you understand?
plastisteel. It's heavy. It's heavy stuff.
Do you understand? He's not much better than Sabine right now. And Sabine's supposed to be terrible. Like I
mhm.
Okay,
Done.
here's the thing, because when he said that line, that like, oh, like I just need the force,
Mhm.
I expected two things.
Mhm.
Either, as you said, he is like Mace Windu level, just
Yeah.
just blows everyone away and like just actually has like strong powers.
Mhm.
Or option number two, play to the actual character of Ezra that he was in the show in Rebels.
Mhm.
What was like Ezra's like special thing? He was really good at communicating with creatures, even
Yeah.
if it was not easy for him. But like that was like his thing, where like he would regularly just communicate with creatures, even though like
Hey, communicating with
some
the
people find
whales.
weird.
Literally.
That the whole thing with the whales was because Ezra was
Yeah.
like that. Like he just happened to communicate with creatures. I expected him to just like like maybe have like a bunch of like like a herd of creatures just appear out of nowhere because
They
like
use
he's
the
been in the
wolves. There were
the
wolves there.
wolves. The wolves, but like maybe there's some other creature that but like have play in that to that strength somehow where like
Mhm.
he's able to command some kind of local creatures and that helps him fight in some way. And secondly, Ezra also generally wasn't like a standard fighter. Like sure he was taught to fight with a lightsaber, but like he was always like very like quirky and like just figuring out some weird strategy. So I expect maybe seeing some more of that, where like he just figures things out and like he like moves on the battlefield in a specific way. But no, he just walks around and pushes stormtroopers on walls, and that's all. That's
Yeah.
the fighting style.
Yeah. So as I was saying, it was very. They needed to have done more with this style of fighting for the character of Ezra, because as you mentioned, it's been 10 years and you would expect him to dominate everyone there, including the apprentice, especially the apprentice. That's what I was expecting. Like as soon as they have the moment where they face off against each other and they begin their fight, like I was like, oh, okay, like this is his moment to disarm her and shut her down and show that there's like a gap in experience between these characters, right? And instead he gets knocked to the floor.
No, he stopped.
instead.
Remember, he stopped her
Uh-huh.
lightsaber with his hands
No,
once. That's what he
He
did.
stopped her lightsaber, and then she force pushed him, and he gets smashed
Yes.
against the wall, and then he gets knocked out
Yeah, and it's
for the
just
rest of
out
the
for
fight.
most
Yeah,
of
yeah.
it.
And I was like, what? I was like, that's
That's
the
pathetic.
more egregious part. There is that he just gets knocked out of the fight, and he's done, despite being meditating and training here for like 10 years, and you'd expect him to like master the Force in that time or
Yeah,
excel in
because
some way.
important part is like we mentioned it before that we assume he had to survive here, and he probably was. Maybe he was either he was pursued by the stormtroopers, or he was just left to fend for himself in the wilderness. So you wouldn't think he would just like chill and do nothing. Like obviously he probably had to like keep up with what was happening. But here you give me as the impression that he was literally just drinking tea with the turtles for the past 5 years at least.
Well, the issue here is that this show has done the best job that it could to tell you that Sabine is a bad fighter now. And
Yes.
the problem is that here, you get the impression that, hey, Sabine's a bad fighter, and she's like on par with Ezra. That's the impression you get from this fight. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh, that means you're
He's
saying
really bad.
that means that you're saying that Ezra's as bad as Sabine, when it comes
Yeah.
to like combat. And it's like, oh, like that's really what you're telling us right now, is that these two are meant to be like equivalent, and that to be saved by Ahsoka instead. Like that's what you're saying.
And this was the character that like everybody was waiting to come back.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's just so disappointing.
Yeah, it doesn't make much sense. Once again, it's like one of those things that just takes you out of the show and the story that's being told. So
also,
weird.
can I mention another technicality? This is a technicality, but because they did it twice, I have to mention it. They did it the first time when Sabine was first fighting the granddaughter, and they did it here as well. Sabine blocks a lightsaber with her armor.
Yeah.
With her arms.
Yeah, they've done it a couple of times.
I'm pretty sure Beskar is not supposed to block a lightsaber.
I'm pretty sure they showed that in the Mandalorian show, didn't they?
Are you sure? I thought they said, because they specifically said that Darksaber can cut through anything, including Beskar, but I would assume that every lightsaber can cut through it then.
No, I'm pretty sure in the Mandalorian show they showed him deflecting lightsabers with his armor. Yeah.
Is it supposed to be a thing?
I'm fairly certain. That happened. Yeah.
Because I was under the impression that lightsaber would cut through Beskar.
No,
specifically a lightsaber.
I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be able to hold its own. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they've shown that in the Mandalorian already.
Okay.
Like, didn't they show that when Ahsoka tried to attack the Mandalorian? Am I crazy? When he showed up to find Ahsoka?
I do not remember.
Okay.
I erased that episode from my memory.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'd be kind of useful if you had a Beskar helmet, wouldn't it?
No. Yeah, wouldn't it? Well, it would be kind of useful if Ahsoka maybe took it with her. Oh.
But yeah. With that, it's the penultimate episode. Apparently they're loading up cargo because it's really important to go to where they're gonna go.
Yes, the cargo is very important. It's of the greatest importance to the Empire.
Yeah, exactly. So next episode, I'm sure we're gonna be finding out what the cargo. I hope we find out what the cargo is, I guess, and I'm sure that's gonna be important in some way. The connection between Thrawn and the mothers. I hope that I don't think they're gonna elaborate on it. I think they're just moving on from it, and just trying to make sure that you forget about it.
It's a thing. Like the mothers were supposed to be like this like grand thing, and now you like degraded them to like just servants.
Yeah.
So like there is nothing there.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like I think they're just done with that, and they're just gonna move on. And we'll see what happens with Old Lord Baylan and I guess everyone else. I think my prediction once again, just like last time, is that I guess at the very end, Hera and the Alliance they gather their forces and they come and help at the end. It'd be kind of weird if Hera is not involved in the final episode.
Why would the Alliance help with anything? They just wanted to demote her.
Because she just told the High Chancellor lady that like that the threat of Thrawn is very real, and Then she'll believe her. She'll give her command back, give her a bunch of forces, and then they go and help or something.
Cool.
We'll see.
And they're gonna destroy the ship of Thrawn. All the cargo is gonna be scattered to the winds of space.
And then you find out one of those is like Ventress's body. And she,
Yes.
she gets flung into space, and she lands where she lands in the tails of the underworld, and then bring her back.
Yeah.
And that's why it took them so long to bring her back, is because she was,
Yeah, she was just floating.
Yeah, she had to
See,
wait.
I was gonna make a different joke that like that the containers fly into space and they just start to crack open. It's all spice. It's just all spice.
Ah, okay. Lovely.
He's just found the source.
For 10 years, he's just been addicted to
He's
spice.
been collecting spice.
Uh-huh.
That's how he survived.
There you go. All right. Well then, with that, we're going to be wrapping up, and next time you see us, we'll be wrapping up the entire show, the final episode, and then we'll give our thoughts as to what the entire show has come to, and how much we enjoyed it.
Oh boy, yeah, enjoyed. That's definitely that's the feeling.
Yeah.
There is so much joy watching this.
So what's your hold on? So I said what I thought. What do you think about what are your predictions? Do you have any predictions on the final episode? Thrawn lives, yes. Thrawn lives.
Yes, Thrawn lives. I don't know if his ship lives though. I don't know if his ship survives. If the fleet really does appear, then his ship may be gone.
My prediction is, what's his name? It's not Echo. It's his captain of the guard. He dies. Whatever his name is. What's his name? It's not Echo. It's like
I don't remember.
Angkor. It's something like that. Anyway, him.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that.
He doesn't like have any real role.
Yeah, that's why he's safe to kill. Like, that's why.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, that's why.
But I was gonna say he's a named character, but he didn't really do anything.
No, he didn't. Just has a face. The opposing false Jedi apprentice, she lives. Yeah, our assumption is that she lives because she's young.
Yes,
so
she lives. Baylan probably dies.
Baylan probably dies. Does Hera and the New Republic arrive at the end?
See, that I don't know. That I do not know. They may just leave it open where they know about the threat, but they just don't do anything about it. I don't have a strong feeling one way or another.
Do the mothers die?
No.
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 Does Morgan die?
Survive? That I don't know.
I'm in the camp that she probably does.
Because you say that she has no purpose and they probably will, but at the same time, she was a bland character from the beginning.
She was, but she had a connection to Thrawn.
Is it really a change?
Well, she had a connection to Thrawn, and now they got Thrawn, so now they're done with the character. I feel.
I guess. I feel like they may keep her, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm undecided on that one.
You think Zeb shows up in the final episode?
I want to say yes, but the answer is probably no.
I feel like I agree. I feel like if they were going to use him, they would have done so by now. Right?
They would have already done it. Yeah. I think whatever they're doing, they delegated him to Mandalorian because that's where he appeared. So whatever they're doing, he's doing with the Mandalorian.
Yeah, they couldn't afford him. He's too expensive. Zeb.
Yeah, probably. Speaking of fun fact, Zeb, who didn't appear in this series, and Thrawn are pretty sure I'm pretty sure are voiced by the same people as they are in the Rebels.
I'm pretty sure. I think the one thing they're gonna do, which I think is very dull, and it's a very lazy way of writing the political or the organization structure of the Senate or the senators and what's happening there, is that they're probably going to reveal that the guy that was very adamant about pushing against the idea of the Imperial Remnants being a real threat.
His Empire.
Yeah, he's like Empire. He's working for them, and they find that out. They arrest him. I say they arrest him. Hera specifically arrests him, and she gets the satisfaction of putting him in jail or whatever.
Yeah. But speaking of, okay, I forgot to mention that, but we were saying how they don't trust their general, but at the same time they trust all these Imperial people in their ranks.
Mhm.
And they're like, the Imperial facility, no, yeah, it's fine. They're working for us now.
Mhm.
But they don't trust their own general.
Yeah. What's the climax? That's the thing. We're building up. What is
Yes.
the climax of this show? Like, what are
Exactly.
what's happening?
That's why it's so hard for me to give you any prediction, because I do not know where we're going.
Yeah.
I don't know what the direction is.
Does everyone just jump into the ship? They teleport away, and then the show ends. Like what? Like where are they going? Are they teleporting to Walmart? Are they going where are we teleporting to?
You keep bringing up the Walmart.
I just really want them to go shopping. I just really.
You just want to see Thrawn just calmly perusing the goods.
Yeah,
in the shop.
he's got his little trolley and he's just going down the aisle.
Yeah, but he's standing very in very dignified way and just looking through the shelves.
Yeah. He's been in the wilderness for 10 years, okay? Like, they don't have any Walmart.
It's instant ramen. I miss that.
Yes, the ramen. Yes. Beautiful. Yeah. Hard to say.
Do you think Thrawn likes ramen?
Only Shin black ramen, like the expensive
Shin black
one.
specifically.
Yeah, Shin black. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see. Because that's the thing. Thrawn has. There's a lot about Thrawn's personal side that we do not know, which could be interesting because we know that he feels very strongly about art, for example.
You know who dies? Hold on. Because I was trying to think, because all these characters that can die are bad characters. I was trying to think of who's a disposable character. The droid, the
Huyang.
Yeah, Huyang. I think.
You mean who is he? The
David
Tennant.
Yeah, David Tennant. I think he might die here. I think he's a safe character to get rid of, because you know what they could do? They could kill him, and then if they really want to, the next season they can just rebuild him.
Bring him back, yeah.
They can just rebuild him, just like with E38
Not the first
or
time.
whatever the droid.
I mean, he does say he's still 75% the original parts. So,
Yeah. I can see them doing that, where they kill him off, but then they just rebuild him and bring him back.
I don't think they. See, I don't know if they would, because they had a line about this in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I'm like, well, he said it, then he probably will survive because he said it.
What did he say?
Because remember when he was flying around and dodging the jets, whatever they're called, the fighters. He was like, "Oh, good, jets, they're all together. Hopefully, I will survive to actually see it." To actually see the reunion.
He did, to be fair.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. That because he had that line, and I feel like they wouldn't kill him after that line.
I think he's the safe. If anyone's gonna die, it's gonna be him. I don't see them. They're not gonna kill Ezra. They're not gonna kill Sabine. They're not gonna kill Ahsoka.
No.
There's no other major, quote unquote, good characters that are disposable.
But why does somebody have to die?
It's the climax of the show. I'm just saying, if anyone will, it's gonna be him. If anyone. Because this show's been empty. There has to be some kind of emotional interjection at some point in this show. There's gonna be something. There's gonna be something there.
No, they're gonna go into hyperspace. It's just gonna be credits.
Because they didn't even kill the whales. They didn't even kill the whales. Oh god.
The whales know better. They just jumped ship.
He just got the hell out of there. He just left. Yeah. Oh my, this place is crazy. Oh my god. Teleported out. Fair enough. All right. Well, with that, we're going to be wrapping up. We're wrapping up here for episode 7, and we'll be back with the final episode of Ahsoka Season 1. Wish us the best. We'll get through it. We'll get through it.
We'll get through it. I mean, we'll get through it. Yeah.
We'll make it.
Yeah.
Okay, we forgot about Kanan. No shot they use him in the final episode. No shot. Do you think they reference him?
How can they use Kanan?
Do you think they reference him? Do you think Hera jails the Imperial Senator and then reminisces about Kanan at some point? Or no?
I think
Do you think the writers forgot that she had a partner?
no. Listen, the only reason why I can see why she would reminisce about Kanan was Ezra's reunion.
Mm-hmm.
She reunites with Ezra, and Ezra gets to meet her son because Ezra doesn't even know she has a son.
True.
Like
Doesn't
Sabine
even
didn't
know.
tell him. I was waiting for her, but like she didn't tell him
Oh my god. True.
because like they were like, "Oh yeah, the Empire is gone." It's like I'm like, that's kind of important that Kanan has a son.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
specifically to Ezra, it may be important.
We'll wrap up.
So I can see them bringing Kanan up because of Jason, whatever his name is.
Yeah, Jason.
But yeah, they better not make him a Force ghost. I would be so mad if Kanan's Force ghost appears.
Nah, they don't got the budget.
I would
for
be
that.
so mad.
We'll see. Expectations are high. For now, though, we're going to be heading off. And we'll see you guys next time for episode 8 for the Jedi, the Witch, and the Warlord. Watching an episode of Narnia.
Yeah, exactly. This episode of Narnia. Oh no.
See you next time. Ciao.